Hey everybody, this is Kat West in the Department of Psychology. I wanted to show you a few things about scheduling Zoom meetings and what you can do. Again, you're going to need to download the Zoom app to your computer as Leah showed you before. But once you have done that, you're going to want to do a couple other things. The first thing you're going to want to do is close out of your Outlook if you're using the Outlook actual app on your desktop and then reopen it, because what will happen is that Zoom puts itself into your Outlook, so it will schedule a lot easier with your calendar, and so it will automatically put things in there. Now, you can schedule a meeting this way and go through the steps. This isn't quite as helpful as the app itself, but this instant meeting really is cool. So if somebody sends you an email and says, hey, can we talk? All you can do is just say, yeah, I'll send you a meeting. So you click it, and you could start a quick meeting, and it will then take you, and you'll be able to start a meeting right there with Zoom. But most of what you're going to probably want to do when you're setting up a recurring class meeting is actually through the app. So once you've downloaded the app, it will be on your desktop. Once you go to it, the first thing you're going to do is make sure you're on the home page up here, and you're going to want to change a few of the settings, because that's what's going to make your life a whole lot easier. To do that, you're going to go over here to this little icon that looks like a little gear. That's the settings button. You're going to click it, and you're going to look through some of these settings. Now, some of the things that I really like, and you can even tell your students to do this too, I love that there's different skin tone colors for your little thumbs up thing, so you can change it to whatever skin tone color that you want. You can change it to where Zoom will start when you start Windows, so you don't even have to think about opening the app. That's totally up to you. Again, there's dual monitors. There's several things that you can choose if you would like. These are some of the defaults, and so I just kind of go with the defaults there. Under the video app, same thing, I kind of leave it at the defaults. Audio, screen share, I leave the defaults, chat. But the one I really wanted to show you that we sort of talked about today was virtual background. So here's where you can change what your background will look like. If you choose none, it's going to show you whatever's behind you in your room or office or wherever you are. It will give you some pictures that are already there, or you can even upload your own, and you can see I uploaded one of somewhere near where I go to visit my relatives in Maine. So again, you can choose the background that will be behind you. The other thing that I wanted to show you is how to make it so it will record every single class so that you don't have to think about it. So if you go to recording, you're going to want to check several things. You're going to want to say record during screen sharing, record. You're going to want to be able to choose where it goes at the end of the meeting. Otherwise, it's going to put it into this default Zoom location. So I like to have it ask me at the end of the meeting where I want it to go. Okay, so make sure you have chosen that one if you want it to go to a specific place. Otherwise, it's going to dump every Zoom meeting, no matter what it was for, under your documents in a Zoom folder. So again, if you want to pick where it goes, make sure you've chosen that. You can change a little bit about your profile. You can look at some statistics and things. But those are the big ones that I think you should do in setting, is your virtual background, your recording setting, and if you want to change anything in the general setting. So once you've got all that done, all right, then you're ready to actually start and create a new meeting. So what you're going to want to do, again, is schedule a meeting, not click new meeting. New meeting will start one automatically. You're going to want to schedule a meeting. So you're going to click a schedule. You can call it whatever you want. I'm going to pretend like this is for my ACAD class that meets on Thursdays at 1 p.m. All right, so then you're going to click. All right, so the first time that we would meet would be this day. It will start at 1 p.m. Again, if you needed to adjust that, you could have adjusted that however you needed to for the time. You're going to then need to pick the duration of the class. Now, classes are an hour and 15 minutes, but for example, we discussed today how your TA may want to jump on earlier, or you may have students that want to stay on after and ask you questions. So I never make it the exact time. I always make it a little bit more. So I'm just going to default to 2 hours. I may not need that long, but just in case, it won't kick anybody out. I do want this to be a recurring meeting. We will, again, finish the recurring part later. We'll actually have to finish it in our Outlook, but you'll see how that works. It's going to make an automatic meeting ID. I don't want to require a password. If you do, that's fine. You can come up with your own, or it will give you a generated one, but I don't want them to have a password. I just want them to join. I want my video to be on as soon as I click it. We don't get the option of changing that for the participants. They get to choose that. And again, the calendar system that I use is Outlook. Hopefully that's what most of you use, is Outlook, and you're using that on your desktop. That really is a very easy and simple way. You're also going to want to click Advanced Options, and you're going to want to do a couple things here. So again, just double check that it kept everything you said. All right, but here is where you're going to do two things. You're going to say automatically record the meeting. All right, so again, it will automatically record it. You don't have to remember to click the record button. And this is where you can also add an alternative host. So for this video example, I'm going to make Leah my alternative host. Again, it must be someone that has gone through the process of getting their Winthrop account set up. So if they had an individual private account, it won't let them be an alternative host here. So if your peer mentor still hasn't followed those steps that you followed to get the Winthrop account, they need to do that. And once they've done that, then theirs will be accepted here. And you will know that they haven't done it because if you try to hit schedule, it will give you an error message. But if they have gone through that process of authenticating for the Winthrop account, it will let them. So then you'll say schedule. Then what will happen is it will take you back to Outlook, and that's when you're going to tell it what you want to do, and you can send it to someone. Now, for example, all I'm going to do is just send it to my peer mentor. And again, I'm pretending that Leah is my peer mentor for this class. You could potentially send it to the whole class if you wanted to. I'm not going to do that because I think that's going to overwhelm them. I don't think a lot of them use the calendar function nearly as readily. So I'm just going to alert them through Blackboard about the meeting. But again, your TA may want that, so you can put it there. If your TA doesn't even want that, you can just email it to yourself. It doesn't matter either way, but you'll want to put somebody in there. So I said either put yourself or put your TA. You'll need to go to recurrence, excuse me, and you'll need to tell it when. So again, my class is Thursdays. Again, I want it to be 2 hours. I want it to start at 1 o'clock. And how many occurrences? That's the easiest one, I think, to do. So literally what I did is I took the little calendar that they gave us and I counted. And I said, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 meetings. We're going to have 13 meetings. So I want this to have 13 occurrences. And then I'm going to say, okay. At that point, it will then create all 13 of your meetings. You'll be ready to go. You don't have to worry about that. The other thing that you're going to want to do, and this is the part that you will put into your Blackboard course, you'll either give them just the meeting ID, or what I think is easier is giving them this whole location. So before you close it out, if you just want to copy that, that will be the location that you can then put into Blackboard. But that's the link that they will click in Blackboard to get to the meeting. All right, so I've done all the things that I wanted to change there. Now I'm going to hit send. It will then schedule it. And if I want to make sure that I did it right, once I'm back in my app here, I'm going to go to meetings and I will see, now here's the one I had already set up for my class, but here's the one that I just made. So let's say now it's time for class. I will start it and it will start the class and it will join, or I will join. All right. I can start my video. Again, it's not letting me do that because I'm using another program that's using my webcam. So normally that wouldn't happen, but we would have our meeting. We could do whatever we wanted. We could do a poll. We could do breakout rooms. I could look at who is there. I could have everybody vote or whatever it is they want to do. Once we're done with class, class will end. And then what it will do is it will start converting, and then it will ask you where you want it to go. All right, and you can tell it where you want it to go. So for example, I want to put this on my desktop in my ACAD folder, and I will say okay, and it will put it in my ACAD folder as a Zoom file. So again, this is how you can get there. And then if you wanted to go back in and rename that, you could rename it as, week 1 or whatever you wanted to call it. But that way they are all there. That's why that settings was so important to begin with, because it lets you decide where you want it to go at the end. All right, hopefully that helped you guys a little bit. If you have any more questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I will be happy to help you. Again, my name is Kat West. I'm in the Department of Psychology, and my email address is westk, so WESTK @winthrop.edu. Have a great day.